Hi, my name is Alan and I am 28 years old. I'd say before this, my Cantonese was around conversational level. I grew up speaking it mainly at home, so any conversations that I had with vocabulary beyond that, I kind of had to just guess what they were saying. Um, I couldn't read very much past like the numbers and maybe the ones on the mahjong tiles. I did have a Chinese class growing up, but I remember it being very brutal, and I just begged my parents to stop. They said I would regret it, and I think they're right because I do. The reason for me learning Mandarin is that I wanted to feel more connected to my culture. Growing up in Canada as a CBC, it's like I could never really belong to one side or the other. Am I Canadian? Am I Chinese? Well, to the Chinese people, I'm Canadian. To the Canadian people, I'm Chinese. So where do I really belong? And I thought this is a good step for me to kind of connect more with my culture, um, and kind of gain my identity back. I also wanted to improve my relationships with my parents. If I could improve my Chinese, then maybe I could have more deep conversations with them and um, have a better back and forth when we argue or something. And also, I have a lot of international friends that I thought if I better my Mandarin, I could speak with them using that, and then our relationship could improve there as well. Also, a lot of times, um, other Chinese people would see me and assume I can speak Chinese, and it always didn't feel very good to kind of inform them, nah, I can't really, sort of, because Cantonese, and not really, because I can't speak Mandarin. And then I always get kind of embarrassed when I feel like a failure as a Chinese person. And then there's also the practical aspect of it in the workforce. Um, I feel like if I can speak Chinese, like Mandarin, I could maybe deal with any like Chinese customers or um, interact with our Chinese branch better, and that would gain me a competitive advantage in the workforce. So in the past, to learn Mandarin, I've tried things like Duolingo and this other app that would teach you the characters, but those didn't push me as far as this app does. Those were very like vocabulary based, and it's just this is this character, that is that character. And then that doesn't really make you feel like you're learning a whole lot, especially if you're not able to use it practically. Um, there was no sense of accomplishment, and it didn't really push and drive me to learn more and keep going with it. Um, I also tried learning from my parents, but then like learning Mandarin through my Cantonese parents when my Cantonese was not really that good was also not very good for me to learn. Um, in the past, I've also had language exchange partners, so I would reach out to someone in China that was trying to learn English, and then we would kind of have back and forth. I would teach them a little English, they would teach me a little Mandarin, but at the same time, learning Mandarin through Mandarin, that didn't help me a lot either. They couldn't answer a lot of questions I had about, oh, why is it this in Mandarin, but when I want to say this, when it's this in Cantonese, and they can't answer because they only know the Mandarin way. I also looked through YouTube videos or classic, just look online how to learn certain words and phrases, but a lot of the lessons online were very, very slow, because they were meant for people that had no experience at all in the Chinese language. So far, my experience with the Canto to Mando blueprint has been amazing. I'm very impressed with the commitment and the heart behind the team and this whole project. The the amount of work that they put in to make this very accessible to people like me who who were born here and understand a certain level of Cantonese, but our main language is English. It's almost as if this course was tailor made for people like me. It's like custom made for me, and that's just truly unique to a program like this. The response rate um, that the people behind this team give when you have questions and when you submit your answers to get marked is also very, very fast, which is very impressive. I don't have to wait days to know whether what I submitted was right or wrong. They tell me right away, and they give very, very detailed help and corrections. And also, I think one of the most valuable parts of this project program is the live streams that happens every week. It's very simple. It'd be very easy for them to just throw all the courses online and then leave us to fend for ourselves. But having live streams, having that instant feedback on those days, and the conversation and the ear training that they have really pushes you to keep learning, keep going, and with all your other classmates in the course, strive to be better in Mandarin. Also, another thing that's very impressive in this course and very unique to this course is that they answer a lot of translation questions from Cantonese to Mandarin that I had previously when I was learning that I never got answered, because they just tell you what it is in Mandarin, assuming that you don't speak Cantonese. Whereas when I'm using my Cantonese to learn Mandarin, it's not always a one-to-one translation. They use different words sometimes, and different ways of saying things. And without knowing that, if you just try to translate word for word Cantonese every time, you're not going to get the correct result all the time. And so getting the reasons why that is, and the proper Mandarin way to say things, is very important, and this course does that very well. Even just the way the courses are broken down and grouped together is for Cantonese speakers. They use phrases that we know in Cantonese, or words that we use in Cantonese that are very important, and that will be like, the lesson will revolve around that and how that's used in Mandarin, which once again is very, very unique to this course. So leveraging my Cantonese to help me learn Mandarin has made it way easier to learn, because now I can use what I already have in my head, growing up speaking Cantonese, to learn another language. It's almost like it's not even a whole new language. It's been like a remix of one that I already know. So I can just use things that words and sentence structures and just kind of swap it out, which makes a lot more sense than just starting from scratch. Now, if I want to generate a sentence in Mandarin, I can use the Cantonese voice in my head to kind of double check, does the sentence make sense? If I use everything I learned and swap out those words, is it the same? And if it is, then generally that's how you would say it. And using the Cantonese has made Mandarin concepts a lot easier to digest and learn much faster. I think the biggest aha moment for me when learning Mandarin was that I could just switch that Cantonese side of my brain, switch out some words, and that was Mandarin. It's not like I have to learn a whole new language from scratch and kind of build that whole mindset from the ground up. It was just almost like speaking Cantonese, swap out a few words, and then you're speaking Mandarin. And through this course, you learn exactly how to swap out to what words and when. So I think that was just what made it click for me. The biggest surprise for me with this program was just how fast results came. If they were slower, then I would not be still using this program. It's been a few months now, and if I was on any other course like Duolingo or any other language thing that's kind of meant for someone who doesn't have any Chinese experience at all, then I think I would have quit by now, because I'm kind of sick of learning the basic bopo mofo things all over again every time. But with this one, the results were quick. I was generating full Mandarin sentences and speaking to Mandarin natives within a few lessons. That's how quick it is when I just use that Cantonese side, leverage it, and then spit it out back in Mandarin. See, I really didn't think I could learn Mandarin this quickly. I thought I would have to overcome that hurdle that comes with learning any new language, where you're building a solid foundation of sentence structure and grammar and like vocabulary first, and then you're able to apply the language and speak it and talk to people. But through this course, through leveraging the Cantonese that I already have, all that foundation was already there. within a few lessons, I was already speaking full Mandarin sentences. I was already talking to people, native Mandarin speakers, using Mandarin. And it's that leveraging of the Cantonese that I already had that is truly unique to this course and was almost like custom made for me. This is great.